Of course, we're talking about Erling Haaland again. He's the hottest thing in football right now, and it looks like a gift that just can't stop giving. 17 goals in just 11 Premier League games is absolutely insane, especially when you remember that Son and Salah needed just 23 to win the Golden Boot last season. But one thing we have noticed is that many people, fans and pundits alike, seem to— First of all, that's just not true, because this Manchester City team had Gabriel Jesus last season, but it was De Bruyne who ended the season as their top scorer with 15 Premier League goals. Some others have credited his form to him being big, tall, fast, strong, and really athletic. And while all those things are true of the Norwegian, we still insist that his insane form is down to more than just his physical qualities. Yes, his physical attributes have obviously helped him score quite a number of the goals he has managed since joining Manchester City in the summer. His goal against Dortmund, his third against Crystal Palace, and his first against Brighton quickly come to mind. His sheer physicality and athleticism helped him score those really fantastic goals. But here's the thing, it is his outstanding intelligence that got him to that point where he could then apply his strength and flexibility. A closer look at the goals he scores will reveal that Erling Haaland's strongest point might actually be his high IQ and football intelligence. Most of the goals the Norwegian centre-forward scores comes from inside the 18-yard box, some even in the 6-yard box. So many opposing fans have already labelled him a tap-in merchant. But there's obviously something they're missing about the 22-year-old, a very vital part of his game. Now, let's start with how quickly he has gotten used to his new teammates and life in England in general. You see, it's normal to struggle just after moving to a new league. Luka Modric struggled just after moving to Madrid. Lionel Messi struggled just after moving to PSG. Cristiano Ronaldo struggled just after moving to Madrid. It doesn't mean the player is not good. They just need some time to adjust to the new environment. But Haaland didn't need that. He never does. He has hit the ground running after moving to Austria, Germany, and now England. That's a really intelligent young man right there. He can adapt really quickly, and that's a strength for him. And when we talk about adaptation, we don't mean just the geographical environment. We also mean his teammates. For example, in his first 2 Premier League games, he and Foden didn't exactly seem like they were on the same page. He failed to score in his second game of the Premier League season against Bournemouth, and he could easily have pointed fingers of Foden for failing to pass the ball to him when he really should have. Fans and pundits immediately started pointing out how that seeming lack of understanding between the attackers could fester and lead to greater problems up front for City, but those talks were very quickly put to bed. In the next game, we saw better communication between the two players, and in the game after that, Foden assisted Haaland, and that was only the beginning of an awesome partnership. The relationship between the two young players only got better, and we saw it peak in the Manchester derby when both players scored hat-tricks, with Haaland assisting 2 of Foden's goals. Or should we talk about how Haaland and De Bruyne already look like they've been playing together for years? They've not even played up to 20 games together, and it already feels like the connection between the two is otherworldly. It takes a really intelligent player to be able to adjust to a new environment and form insane connections with new teammates so quickly. Let's even leave those connections aside and focus on the tap-in merchant allegations for a bit. You see, the reason Haaland is able to get most of those tap-ins is because of his insane positioning. He is known to not need too many touches to score, and that is because he is doing a lot of work off the ball to get himself into the best positions where he can easily put the ball in the back of the net once he receives it. If you look at most of his one-touch goals, they all seem to have something in common. He's almost always tucked in between the last centre-back and the full-back on that end. That gives him a clear view of where the ball is coming from and where his marker is. So at the right time, he'll just ghost into the space where he is expecting the ball and put in a leg or a head. Before we move on, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also, click on the bell notification so you won't miss out on any of our new videos. His rebound goals are also products of brilliant positioning. He's not just looking at where the ball is at the moment, he's looking at where the ball could be in the next few seconds. So he positions himself in a way where he'll surely be the first to get to that ball if and when it comes. You look at him score those close-range one-touch goals and think they're easy, but they aren't. Not at all. Positioning is difficult for a surprising number of strikers, and it takes superior intelligence to be able to do it so perfectly every time you step on that pitch. But of course, it's not enough to just position correctly. As a striker, you also have to be able to correctly time your runs so that you're not cut off by the flag. And that's another thing Haaland does brilliantly. Think about it. When was the last time you saw a Haaland goal get chopped off because of an offside call? As far as this season is concerned, that hasn't happened. And you can't say it's because he's always in the opposition's box, because he has scored a number of goals after receiving the ball from outside the box. His third goal against Crystal Palace, his goal against Wolves, his first against Brighton, and even the ball that led to the penalty against West Ham were all long balls from the midfield, or in the Brighton case, straight from the goalkeeper. In each of these cases, Haaland made sure he was always fully aware of his surroundings, so he was able to time his runs to perfection each time. You might not appreciate these goals as much as you should at first glance, but if you look more closely at his movements just before the balls to him come, you'll see that this is some high IQ stuff. In that game against Brighton, you'll notice that every City player had a Brighton man on him, so Ederson found it really difficult to play out from the back, as City are known to do. In fact, just before that goal, Ederson found it so difficult to find a teammate that he mistakenly passed the ball straight to Welbeck, who was able to fashion an attempt on goal from that. That was how tightly Brighton were marking. But then, next time Ederson was in a position like that, Haaland gave his goalie a really brilliant option by going round the back of the defender marking him. So by the time the defender could turn to face his goal, Haaland was already long gone. We could also look at his third goal against Crystal Palace and the move that led to the penalty against West Ham. Those two runs were very similar. He was in between two defenders. He ran behind the one in front of him, leaving some space between himself and the defender while he fed his back to the one behind him. That way, he could protect the ball without any of them interfering. And once he had made the perfectly timed runs, he pointed to Gundogan exactly where he wanted the ball to be played into. Gundogan headed both times, and goals were produced both times. That right there is football intelligence. Yes, his physicality and athleticism have helped him score most of these goals, but a closer look shows you that his brain starts working long before his body even has to do anything, and that's why he makes the goals look too easy. So next time you talk about Haaland with your peers, make sure to not reduce him to just his physical attributes. His ability to position perfectly, ghost into spaces, anticipate balls, times his run to perfection, and even create great partnerships with new teammates in no time, all work together to create opportunities where he can then use his height, speed, strength, and athleticism to score easily. Having said all those things, can we now say that Erling Haaland is the perfect centre forward? Or would that be an exaggeration? Let us know what you think in the comments. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. That's all from Hattrick for now. See you in the next one.